The category is live, wax, ho!
Hey y'all, hi speaker, hi YouTube, and hi Anchor. This is Goddess Kendra. So today I'm going to do a video about a show called Pose Season 1, Episode 4. This started on FX channel and now they stream it on Netflix. I'm only on Season 4. So this episode was entitled Mother's Day. It was really made me feel sad watching this. Like, Electra finally has her reconstructive organ surgery to go from male to female. And Blanca goes to visit her mother. That's what they call that kind of scene when they do balls and stuff. It's like mother house. So Electra's house is called House of Abundance, and Blanca's is called Angelista. It's Evangelist House or something. And she visits and is like, "Who got you these flowers?" "Oh, your man did. My man didn't." Blanca's like, "Whatever. You know your man would have this whole room filled with flowers. Here's some flowers." Well, Blanca, why'd you come visit me?" "I just wanted to see how you were doing." "Do you come to make fun of me?" She's like, "No, I want you to know that I'm here," or whatever the case may be. "And just so you know, you're a very crappy mother. All you do is care about yourself, and you're very hurtful." Like in the last episode, she was degrading Candy, calling her ugly and all this type of stuff. And it's just like, ugh. People like that I tend to stay away from. But people always underestimate the underdog every time. Like, oh. So she's like, you got to be better than that to your children. That's why they didn't come visit you, because you're mean. So even though Blanca does not like Electra anymore, she was like, you basically, when the show started, it went back to New York 1982 when Blanca was 17. She did her first ball and they said, "You look ugly," and they were clowning her or whatever the case may be. And she ran out, and then Electra was like, "You want to go get something to eat? Why did you show up?" He's like, "Well, the group home is really mean to me. My parents don't accept me, and like I have to be myself regardless." So she's like, "I'll be your mother and let's have some food." She's like, "I haven't really eaten in a long time, thank you." So she's like, "The reason why I'm here is because you're my second mother and you took me in when I needed help, but you have a crappy attitude." So then Stan's wife finds out that Stan is having an affair with the TS girl. So basically, his bitch-ass boss ratted him out because he hired him, and then obviously Stan's better at the job. He's not a cokehead like his manager. He freaking levels up and gets paid more, and he's like, "You will regret ever fucking with me." And I'm like, dude, people be some freaking haters, man. You can't never, like, I feel in this time and even back then, you cannot be yourself because people generally have freaking issues with you. Like, for myself, I'm able to pick up people's vibes. If I talk to you and say, "Hello, how you doing?" and you sitting here treating me like I get on your nerves, and I'm just going to stay to myself and do what I do. Not get mad, not get an attitude, nothing. So he's like, "You're going to regret this." So then somehow his little cokehead manager was like, your husband's cheating on you with Angel, and this is where they rent a house or an apartment. So then the wife goes to the apartment and was like looking for Angel. No sign. And she's like, well, I can't legally let you in. She goes, well, I'm Stan's wife, Shelly. I think that's her name. And here's my driver's license. Who's on the lease? So then she's like, does Angel have a forwarding address? So while everybody's gone, Poppy is home by himself, and she rings the doorbell. Is like, is Angel here? He's like, no, Angel is not here, but I could take you to her. Oh, I have a town car. He's like, heck yeah. So Poppy ends up going with her, and she finally sees her first ball. Freaking Electra's punk ass wins again. And then finally, when everything's done, Stan's wife's like, hi, Angel, I'm Stan's wife. You're like, what the fuck? So I missed something in the beginning. Blanca gets a call that her mother dies. So her mother and the family doesn't like the fact that Mateo goes from Mateo to Blanca, if you know what I mean. And she's like, well, why didn't you tell me mom died? And they're like, what are you doing here? Mateo's like, don't call me Mateo. I'm Blanca. Like, if someone prefers to be called something, you can't just disrespect them because you don't agree with what they're doing. Like I've always said, there's a lot of things in the world I don't agree with, but I will not purposely be hateful or disrespectful to somebody because I don't agree with what they do. So she goes to the house, and then her family's just like, oh, why are you here? Why are you here? I deserve to go to mommy's funeral too. So then Blanca goes to the funeral, and her children and her friend go in with her. And they're like, oh my God, that's Mateo. He's a transsexual. Ugh, look at that wig on his head. Which you don't do that to people. I do that to Sydney Starr because Sydney Starr is a punk-ass bitch who's a fucking liar and who's ruined people's career about gay allegations just to get attention. I really don't respect that motherfucker, so I call she, him, or whatever you want to call it. Is it right? I don't give a fuck. So then Prey tells like, you over here talking about Blanca with your frizzy perm on your head. So then the sister's like, why are you here? Why are you here? And then Pray Tell says, she deserves to be here too, and you need to have forgiveness. We have feelings too. So then the aunt or something is like, can you come back to the house with me and have a meal? So as they're going in there, the brother's like, the sister's like, they're like, we don't want, why are you here? So Blanca grabs like a recipe book, and then they're like, put that back, and her brother starts choking him. You're a gay. What did he say? You're gay. You're a weirdo. You're a pedophile. Why the fuck you here, basically? I'm like, man, people are so terrible. Like, I don't understand why being bisexual or homosexual or a part of the LGBTQ community, why someone has to say that you're a pedophile. But in real freaking life, we know people that sexually assault people, R. Kelly, Sakai, and y'all still fuck with those weird ass motherfuckers. But somebody who happens to be TS or whatever, you want to assume that that person is a freaking pedophile. What the fuck is wrong with the world we live in? This shit be pissing me the fuck off, man. Like, I don't even know. So, Bianca runs back home and she just starts crying, and then she starts having memories of her mother. And then randomly, when they started cooking breakfast, her sister knocks on the door and gives her the recipe book. But I don't agree with how Blanca's family treats her because she's wants to dress as a woman or transition or whatever. I don't know if I'm saying it right. I don't mean to try to be rude to people or anything like that. That is definitely not my intention. But it was heartbreaking. So then after she gets a recipe book, she goes back into memory as when she was a little boy and cooking with her mother, and it's like, Mama, I love you forever. Will you love me forever? And then her children, which are in her house, meaning like they do balls and stuff, was like, I love you forever. And she's like, I love you forever too. So it's just disappointing how fucked up people can be. I'm like so sick of how like damn ignorant people want to be. But I originally, like I said in my first video, started watching Pose because I really wanted to understand the whole community life. I don't get it, but like people really get treated like really fucked up because of their sexuality and different things like that. And it's like, y'all irk me with this, like, because somebody's different. You want to be mean. I wasn't taught to be like that. And just because like I said, I'll give you an example. When I was a little kid, my pops took me to the park, and like I was always taught to treat everybody respectfully, whatever race, sexuality, if you're disabled. And this boy fucking with blonde hair and blue eyes, so pasty, was like, get away from me. I don't like you because you're black. And I said, and I don't like you because you white. And immediately my dad scolds me like, don't say that. And I'm like, but he's like, just because people are ugly to you, you don't have to be like that. So now let's read a recap from Brian Moylan. This was written June 24th, 2018. Let's get started. Candy Abundance, the Tilly Queen with the... Hold on. I think I've read the wrong one. Hold on one second, y'all. I'm sorry. 5 explain, I think. Let me see. Sorry, y'all. I've messed up my whole video, but trial and error is cool. Let's see. I might have read the wrong dang one. There we go. I got it. There is internet. Okay. At the end of the recap of this series, the 3rd episode, I noticed that all of the episodes are too long, and well, that hasn't changed. Now I'm going to put it at the top of the recap in the hopes that Ryan Murphy and his crew will hear what I have to say. Every one of your episodes is too long, and nearly every one of your scenes is too long. The worst example of this was when Blanca goes to her mother's funeral and fights for her right to say goodbye. Did we need to hear what she was thinking during their final moment together? No. In fact, I feel like the voiceover just ruined the pure emotional moment by making explicit what is inflicted. If the viewer had to do a bit of the emotional work to emphasize with Blanca, it could bring tears to the eye. Instead, the writers don't trust that they're getting their point across, so they have to hit us over the head with it, giving us a headache rather than tears. The same goes for the unnecessary flashback Blanca had when looking over her notebook of recipes from her mother. We already know what they had, all of their best moments in the kitchen, and this is where they expressed their love for each other. We would still understand how the reminiscence of their relationship would be. Instead of letting these emotional scenes manifest themselves, we get an exact mirror of the scene between Blanca and her mother with Blanca and Damien. Get it? Just like her mother now. Get it? Did you get it, huh? Did you get it? Okay, good. I'm pretty sure you did get it. Most of the episodes did deal with Blanca and how she reacts to her estranged mother's death. She initially goes to see her sister Cameron, who lets her know that she's not invited to the funeral. Of course, Blanca shows up anyways because the show is a drama, and she wants to bring the drama, honey. Things don't go well at the funeral, but eventually her sister and brother let her stay to say goodbye. On the other hand, when the two old aunties give her shade for being her true self, Pray Tell throws it right back at them and makes fun of their frizzy weaves. Whether it was the frizzy weave master shade or the touching moment about how a child lost their mother, Blanca's aunt then invites her back to the house for food. They have a laugh and remember Blanca's mother on the couch, and then Blanca goes into the kitchen to try to take her mother's recipe book. Her brother and sister stop her with force. The best moment of the episode comes when Carmen shows up at Blanca's door with the recipe book. She must have kept the Christmas card Blanca sent and found the address there. It's still tense between the sisters, and Carmen doesn't want to come in, but she left the door open for them to have an understanding. During their first altercation, she yells at Blanca, "I don't even know what you are." That's rude as fuck. Apparently, she discovered that the answer is that Blanca is a human being and should be treated as such. Thanks to the fallout over her mother, Blanca is the only person who goes to visit Electra after her gender confirmation surgery. Speaking of which, does the montage of Electra being wheeled into the surgery theater and the queens walking in the perfect 10 category absolutely amazing. When Blanca arrives with some bodega flowers, she reads Electra for being too mean to all of her children and tells her that she needs to display some kindness if she wants to inspire the same thing in the members of the house. Blanca clearly knows Electra has a kind side, since Electra showed her kindness after she flopped in her first ball wearing a shake and wear wig. Speaking of that, the show presents the ball scene as a place where all these people who are outcast by society find a place to fit in and make their drama come true. I can see how that's punishable, but they're also really cruel to some of the people walking in the categories. Look at what they did to Blanca the first time she walked, or looked at how Pray Tell talks about the category, saying, "Don't even walk in this category if you can't pass," before welcoming the perfect tens. That seemed pretty mean to me and could surely give a queen a complex. Just look at how they ripped apart a poor young homeless Blanca. Anyways, Electra takes message to the heart and throws a welcome back dinner for all of the members of the house to show them appreciation, even though they challenge the house of Mulgar without her. She says she's going to be a much better mother and is going to show her love by winning at the next ball with dresses she purchased from Saks. Electra better slow her roll with all these spanny purchases. Now that her rich man won't want her back, how is she going to pay for all of this? She's not worried about money when they walk into the ball. The judges that her daughters are sitting at the table in their finest clothes having little tea party right there in the middle of the ballroom. It is a truly gag-worthy moment. The only other people dealing with an ungrateful mother this week is Stan. Just like Electra saved Blanca, and Blanca is rearing the likes of Damien and Angel, Matt has mentored Stan and brought him into the business world and giving him passage to a world of privilege he never experienced before. When Matt's Arrogance makes him miss a meeting with a boss whose name I won't even say in this recap. Stan finds himself with a promotion and taking money out of Matt's pocket on the deal. Matt takes his revenge and tells Stan's wife, Patty, about Angel and even delivers her address. After a bit of investigation, Patty shows up at the Evangelista apartment looking for Angel and the time for Poppy to tell her that Angel is at the ball. Patty goes along with him, and everyone in the ballroom is staring at this uppity white woman from the suburbs. Who let all this real fish in? One of the queens in the hallway steers. No one is quite sure exactly what Patty's plan is by getting dressed up and heading into the city for a big confrontation with Angel, but she gets it after the ball. Patty approaches Angel and tells her who she is and that is where it ends. Holy cliffhanger, Batman. I can't believe we have to wait until the next episode to find out how this goes, but something tells me it's going to be the mother of all confrontations. So like I said, ladies and gentlemen, just because people are different and do things different does not give you a right to treat them messed up because of their sexuality, their race, or their gender. You sound super stupid. And I mean,